starting to flex its muscles a little bit. Christian Stead's return from the ECHL has been soiled here in this third period. Ford with 2, O'Day with 1. O'Day's got 2 points on the night. That gives him 8 points in the last 3 games for Roanoke. Stanko is able to spin that puck down the wall, and now Portillo's gonna jump after a man in the Roanoke zone. Sean Leonard goes right back after him. Portillo went after Tom Marcinkevics. Now Portillo's still going after him. Portillo's throwing uppercuts at Tom Marcinkevics. Sean Leonard's gonna take it back to the Roanoke bench. The linesman has taken Sean Leonard all the way into the Roanoke bench, essentially. The Dawgs player is trying to hold him in. A Justin Portillo special. You got Dan Bremner right up at the stanchion, and Roanoke is throwing the equipment of Portillo, and here goes Troy Murray into the Roanoke bench. Troy Murray tried to go into the bench. Rex Moe did it last year in Roanoke, and it's a complete goon show here in Knoxville. Murray and Portillo have completely blown this game up. Murray tosses gloves with 20 guys on the Roanoke bench. Portillo went after Dom. Sean Leonard tried to stand up for him. The linesman carried Sean back to the Roanoke bench. Sean Leonard's gonna catch the boot for it. A dog threw one of Portillo's gloves into the Knoxville bench. Meanwhile, Dan Bremner was wrapped around the stanchion, screaming at Andrew Harrison, who seemingly lacks the same amount of control that Brent Clark did over his team last year in Roanoke when this happened as well. How do you get 2 years in a row where a player goes into another team's bench? Now, Murray didn't fully cross the threshold, but he was basically about to. It's a complete lack of discipline. Portillo already suspended for 5 games this year for jamming a man's head off the ice. And it's a disgrace, folks. .856 remains in the third in this 5-1 game. Roanoke throwing the Knoxville equipment back, of course, is going to get a look too, but Portillo pursuing Marcinkevics, Murray then going toward the Roanoke bench. Sean Leonard was being held away from all of it by the linesman. Dan Bremner was right up at the stanchion, screaming at Harrison for the lack of control from the Ice Bears. Roanoke had just scored a beauty by Matt O'Day that made it 5-1. They send out Portillo, and he does what, honestly, Justin Portillo does in this league. It's been like this for 3 seasons. And I'm not one that's typically going to stand up on the soapbox, but frankly, it just keeps happening with this guy. He already got 5 games earlier this year for basically bouncing an Ice Bear head, or a Birmingham Bull head off the ice in a fight that was completely uncalled for back in November, where the man didn't even drop his gloves. He goes after Dom. I mean, Justin Portillo's SPHL career, 454 penalty minutes, 9 goals, 97 games. Troy Murray then squaring up with the Roanoke penalty box, or the Roanoke bench, I should say, after Sean Leonard had been carried all the way over there by the linesman. Now, of course, Roanoke did throw Portillo's equipment into the Knoxville bench, and Dan Bremner was screaming around the stanchion. Josh Nittedall sitting up on the ledge of the bench. Mike Murray was talking to Dan Bremner right there around the stanchion. Josh Nittedall just kind of casually sitting with his back to everything during all of this. But I mean, folks, Roanoke has a big part in this today, but that was calculated by Knoxville through Portillo. He's got the reputation. It's a 5-1 goal where O'Day has ripped it by Stead to really put this game out of hand, and Portillo comes after the smallest player on the Roanoke team. Sean Leonard then gets carried away and then still ejected, even though he never really got into the altercation. But then you got Troy Murray throwing the gloves like he's gonna take on 18 rail yard dogs.